Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Desert Fox bringing you another StarCraft 2 cast. I haven't cast a game in a long time. I had so many computer crashes. I need to reinstall Windows a bunch of times. And now I have a cold. My voice might not be the best, but hey, at least I'm doing another game. And this is going to be a Terran versus Protoss. So, I've been watching a lot of games lately and doing an analysis of replays. And I figured out that the best two openings for against Protoss on small maps are the 1-Rax Fast Expand and the Reaper Expand. I personally prefer the Reaper Expand because I like Reapers. They're pretty cool. You get to jump over buildings and kill SCVs really quick. So that's pretty cool. And so the build I go is a 10 supply depot, 12 racks, 10 supply depot, 12 racks, 13 gas, and at 15 I get a orbital and a tech lab right away. And you're going to want to scout with your SCV to know which base he's in early on, so your Reaper can go straight to his base to minimize the time that you're not attacking. And so, the strong advantages of this build is that if you can catch the Protoss off guard, you will get a lot of probe kills. And it sets you up for an early command center with a tech lab to boot, so your stim will be done a bit earlier. Although in a lot of games it won't matter if the Protoss isn't going to do a lot of early pressure. So that little probe kills a few units. I forget when, but he kills a lot, and it's really annoying. So as usual, I'm scouting his base, and I only see one gas. He's not saving Chrono Boost, so I can rule out 4 gate because he's not saving the Chrono Boost. And everything else is standard. So I'm assuming it's going to be a robo play or a faster expansion play. So I also don't see a Zealot, which means he will get a Stalker first. And unfortunately, by the time I get there, since he chronoed out his Stalker, he has his Stalker ready. But he attacks the SCV instead of my Reaper, so that's good. Oh yeah, the probe kills this SCV. That's what happens. This Marauder didn't want to attack. And my since I was focused on killing that little thing with my Marauder, my Reaper died, which was really unfortunate. I could have gotten more kills. I only had 3 kills. He has 2. Not a good situation to be in. So I always throw down my expansion after 1 Marauder. After 2 Marauders, I threw down a bunker and a 2nd Rax. And right when my 3rd Marauder is started, I'm gonna put down a 3rd Rax. Simple. Yeah, I really like this build because when I analyzed it, I tried not to put timings or like in time or in army supply, but rather when something finishes, I build wet. Which is something you should do, and if you watch Day 9, you should already be doing that. So now, one thing that also I observed during some games is that you want to push out with your first 4 Marauders. But this only works if your opponent is Stalker heavy. Right now, I should have just killed this Stalker and finished with it, or poked up to see what his army was. Because as you can see, I'm just macroing out. My army is getting to his base. And right now he has too many Zealots. Marauders are horrible. Horrible against Zealots. Their base DPS is 10 every 1.5 seconds. Only 20. Their DPS is pretty much double against Stalkers. That's what they're good for. So without the Marines to do the DPS, they just all died, and I lost a lot of army, which is really unfortunate. And also, right when you get the starport, this is just me not knowing the build enough. I didn't practice it enough in single player. Right when you put down the starport, you want to get down 2 more gas, and you want to put 2 more barracks. I completely forgot about those, and I put the add-ons first. You want to do the other barracks first, then the add-ons, to be sure you have maximum production and maximum army. Now, right now, he is just camping outside my base. He is going for a lot of pressure. He's building 2 more gates, so it's going to be a 5-gate pressure right after he expanded, which is a really powerful build that I'm not entirely ready for. And as you can see, I'm getting another tech lab. I should be getting another reactor and switching these over for the medevacs. In the army supply tab, he is way ahead. I only have 650. I have 725. He has 1,700. So my army supply is way lower, but that's to be expected because as soon as these 2 medevacs pop out, that's when the big army starts to muster. Also, I have upgrades, which he doesn't. which is a good thing. And upgrades don't count in army supply. So now that I have my medevacs and I'm starting to get air, that's when my army just jumps up, because those are really expensive, 100. And finally I'm adding more racks. I'm only pumping 2 Marauders and 2 Marines at a time though, which is suboptimal. And I'm throwing my racks here to see if he's getting his 3rd there. I should really be going around his base to see what's coming up, because if I saw all those gateways I would have seen this much earlier. And when you see this, you really want to stim, run back, and go back to your bunkers. That will be your best form of defense. And try and spread your guys out, which I didn't do. I brought SCVs to repair, and I sent this as a drop to his base, which cost me a lot in the end, but did a lot of damage, which was really worth it in my opinion. So he completely overwhelms me. His army is 3 times mine. He is expanding once more. I'm going to keep it on the army supply. So now my army supply is almost nothing. I forgot about this drop. I could have done so much more damage. And I go for the pylons straight away. Oh, sorry. So here I just set up my bunkers, and this will make the Protoss run back, because he did pull half of his stalkers to go defend against this drop. He sees the 2 bunkers and he retreats. Now again, with this drop, I'm still focusing down the pylons. That's the most important thing I could be focusing down right now, because it cuts his production of army by, well, 3 gateways. So he only has 2 more gateways powering for his army. I should have unloaded and pursued that army, except I didn't really have the micro and the multitasking to do so. Another thing that happened while I was in that fight is that I got my upgrades up, which he does not have any right now. And the big upgrades is what's going to win me the game. So at this point, I don't have enough money to be able to secure myself an expansion. He has too much money because I unpowered his gateways and he couldn't get his warp cycles in. And my army is just going to grow and grow and grow. Sorry again. So I'm just sticking on these racks. I'm not building any production buildings because I want to hit as fast as I possibly can. And I'm just going to turtle up right here. I'm going to fast forward a bit, because all I'm doing is building my army, because I do realize that he has nothing. And then I see here he's going for 2 forges. I did click on those, which is invaluable information, because I know that he's teching up, so a lot of his money will be not an army, but in unspent resources for me. So now I pull a bunch of SCVs, and now I go for the final attack. The point of killing SCVs is not to do more DPS, but to be able to tank. Each SCV has 45 health, and then you multiply that by 16. That's a lot of extra health on my Marines. And as you can see, when I push up this ramp, normally there would be a suicide. I would lose all my army right away. But instead of losing my army, I just lose all the SCVs at first, which is a really, really good thing. So all my Marines and Marauders will keep shooting. My Marauders should be in front though to take the damage. And his army just melted if you were looking in this top corner right here, because Marauders do so much damage against Stalkers, Marines do so much DPS against anything really. And he has all this money in upgrades that could be an army right now. He could have easily won the game if he, instead of killing my expo, just went out for my production, because being able to produce more army is what brought me back into this game. Now, right now, I want to kill these pylons as fast as I can to stop these upgrades. If you look in the Everyone tab, they are so close to being finished. He's chrono boosting them. This one, oh, 153, 155. Stopped at 155. That's just a lot of luck. Mostly, I pushed out when I felt I had a big enough army. And a lot of SCVs. I'm still mining, and I'm just rallying all my troops here. And now I'm just killing off the pylons, making him unable to produce anything. Then I went for the SCVs, and I will be right back. I have to answer the phone. Alright, I am back. And so now, after I killed most of the probes, I leave right away because there's nothing left in here to kill. I stim down and go for the other probes, because that's the most important things. If you can cut his economy and his production, you'll pretty much win. Especially if you're in a case where you cannot reinforce with a lot of army, which is pretty much me. And by now the game's pretty much over. I have stim, I have a bunch of medevacs, most of them still have energy. He's trying to cannon up, but I'm not going to take any of that. Buildings also take double damage from Marauders because they are armored. And now he just QQs because Marauders and Marines do so much DPS against Bio. Against gateway units. It's incredible. And it's true, he did have 2 times the army supply, except that gateway units versus Bio is just really, really bad. You really want that tech early on, or if you were about to do this, I wouldn't have went for the upgrades. I would have personally went for Colossus or High Templars or something that could deal extra damage towards the Bio. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope the intro was satisfactory. I made that. It took me about 3 hours today. I thought it was pretty cool. And a big shout out to TeaganBear. He's the DJ who made the song. I'm going to put a link for his channel in the description below. So have a good one, guys.